degrees, virtually no wind, that almost unfiltered sun shining down. It's all brought to you by Fox Weather. Download the Fox Weather app now. Now, Byron Vaughn's from Logan. 40 degrees feels like 90 for the defensive end for Utah State.
Absolutely not. I played in Green Bay. I played in New York. I played in Boston. There's no way I was coming out there in the cold. I was warmed up. No way.
Blake Anderson, the first season as the head coach for Utah State. He knows this weather well. 3 years formerly for him. A Lobos assistant here. His 8 wins, as you see, the most in the nation for a first-year head coach. Good friends on the other side with Danny Gonzalez in his second season at his alma mater. Danny Gonzalez attended Valley High School just 4 miles away here from the University of New Mexico. You see the record at 5-13. Today he'll use his 5th quarterback to start in 19 games, and year 2 of a rebuild, an opportunity head-to-head to get a win to propel the Lobos into the offseason. Utah State won the toss and chose to defer, and so New Mexico and that triple option with Bryson Carroll behind it will begin with the football. Elliot Nimrod will kick it away, just about a mile high, and this ball will fly. Utah State keeping an eye on the scoreboard to see if San Diego State gives them the help that they need today, as Dante Martin takes the opening kick, and a good return out across the 30 to about the 31 or 32-yard line. And that's where Bryson Carroll will get his first career start at quarterback. The graduate student manager who had medically retired from football, called back into action to strap it back up from San Antonio, Texas. Originally recruited here as an option quarterback, then switched to running back. He's not thrown a pass this year.
And they're coming out and empty out the gate. I love this. Expect some type of quick game or quarterback run out the gate.
Bobby Wooden is the man in motion, and he lost the football, recovered it, fell back on it. Utah State is pointing, and it's a loss of 8 yards for New Mexico on first down. Second and long is not where this offense wants to be. Kyle Stapley at left guard, playing his last game, the only Utah native on this New Mexico roster. They are without a large percentage of their offensive production, not just at quarterback, Will. They're shorthanded all over the place, including their leading receiver. This is Carroll, who stumbles for a moment and then throws in the flat complete for a gain of about 4 yards to Trace Bruckler, the true freshman wide receiver. Utah State leads the Mountain West in tackles for loss this year on defense. 17 takeaways as well for this group. We saw Nick Hinninger make the play to start the game, and Byron Vaughn's, who was running around shirtless beforehand. Justin Rice, he wears number 3 in white. Watch him today. He's twice the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week.
You know, I'm not mad at what they're doing. I love for them to go empty. Definitely try to get the ball into the hands of Bobby Wooden. He's been probably one of the most explosive players this year. So right now, I like what the offense is doing.
That's the Wooden that went in motion. Carroll is going nowhere, and this is a very quick 3 and out as Byron Vaughn's burst into the backfield to force a punt.
And it's just tough. It's just tough right now. You know, they have right now, one of the weaknesses is the offensive line. Hence why they have so many injured quarterbacks. But right now, you know what they're doing, try to spread them out, and then, hey, let's see what we can do from going empty.
Big test here now. Aaron Rodriguez had 2 punts blocked, 4 touchdowns last week in the 37-0 loss to Boise State. This one gets away clean to Jordan Nathan. Backpedaling and hit immediately. Great coverage by New Mexico. Devin Sanders, and that's been one of the bright spots for the Lobos this year, 8th in the nation in the punt return game.
Yeah, there was some good hang time on that punt. Also, if you read the nose of the football, it was pointing straight up and down. That's a difficult punt to catch. Yeah, so great play. They need something like that on special teams.
44 yards on that punt. Here comes the man you talked to on the field before the game, Logan Bonner. And they're trying to bounce back. They really had a tough time throwing the football last week against Wyoming, an offense that had been rolling throwing the football. And they're going to run it here on first down with Calvin Tyler Jr., who was one of the bright spots last week in that loss when he went for over 100 yards to pick up a 1.
Yeah, when I spent time with Logan on the field, he talked about how he needed to be a little less reckless, right? There were some throws he wished he could have taken back. So, yeah, I expect him to be more calm. He looked relaxed when I spoke to him as well.
Make it a gain of 2 for Tyler. And now Bonner to throw on 2nd down. Plenty of time. Airs it down the middle, and he had nobody there. The closest man was Tavian Combs, the Lobo backer for New Mexico.
Yeah, and those are opportunities right there you need to have in the secondary. But you saw them getting pressure. Rocky Long with some of his cool action. Great hit right there. Just sailed it up high enough. Joey Noble coming through, making a play there. Standout D-tackle.
This is a defense, you know, you see the record for New Mexico, 3-8, but this is the 5th ranked defense in the league in terms of yardage, and they can create some problems. This one in and out of the hands of Justin McGriff, maybe a hair behind him, and so a good defensive effort by New Mexico to force a 3-and-out in return.
Yeah, great job at the defense. Just being in the right spot, taking away all the lanes, making tough throws for Logan Bonner. Great 3-and-out right there. Great stop.
So Andrew Erickson is back deep to return this punt. New Mexico is without its leading receiver and its star punt returner, Luke Wysong, being held out of this game. So Stephen Constantly will send this away. And Erickson will let that go. That might have hit a Lobo. Ball is loose. New Mexico recovered it. New Mexico looked like they fell on it. Somebody with a very heads-up play after that ball bounced off of one of the return team members. And it was Deuce Jones that covered it up after the McGriff drop. Lobos with the ball.
Yeah, it's funny. Looking at this play, I wonder if the punt returner could not see because of the sun. You know, and I say that because you see him avoid right there. He's like, I couldn't find it to give a Peter call. So I wonder if that was a huge factor in this ball hitting the ground like that.
It's an 11 a.m. kickoff. Of course, that is somewhat atypical, having the sun where it is this time of day, and it did hit one of his teammates. So New Mexico was able to recover after forcing the 3-and-out. They're going to run it straight forward on 1st down and get a couple of yards, which is better than that first drive where all 3 plays were for negative yardage.
Yeah, and this is what they need to do.
With the carry.
Yeah, this is what they need to do. They need to attack the front. That's what Wyoming did. They ran the football in between the tackles really well last week versus Utah State. So this is what I like to see the Lobos doing here.
You saw Peyton Dixon with that carry, number 32. That's just his 7th carry of the year. And this is an offense that is missing a ton right now, including Aaron Dumas, the leading rusher, who's averaging nearly 5 yards a carry. Carroll's going to keep this and get nowhere. Byron Vaughn's, again, right there for the stop. A loss of 2, and it'll be 3rd and 10. So Dumas, Wysong, who's the leading receiver, the true freshman. Danny Logan Green been out. Bobby Cole got hurt last week right after Isaiah Chavez did. It's the 4 leaders in total yardage, and that's 61% of the team's production.
Yeah, on that last play, you want to see Bryson get that ball out quicker.
And now a 3rd down and long. So here's Connor Janal, the backup quarterback.
Right, he's more of the drop back pass guy. You'll see him in shotgun here. They get into a little spread formation. Got to get to the sticks.
25% 3rd down conversions this year. Janal on the move, and that ball is caught by Andrew Erickson, shy of the 1st down by about 3 yards. And it's 4th down and short, and here comes the punt team.
He ends up finding the receiver, but with the receiver, you want to run past the yard mark, especially if you need the 1st down. You want to run past the sticks and then come to it. I think he was a little short, but still, they got some positive plays. That's something that they can still celebrate.
Nathan back deep again. Rodriguez, who punted for the 75th time this year after the first drive. This is punt number 76 on the year for him. And that one just gets away. And Nathan will fair catch that at about the 34-yard line after a boot of 39 yards. So the Utah State offense, after a 3-and-out to start the game, coming back onto the field. Early first quarter, The day after Thanksgiving, a happy Thanksgiving, depending on where you are. It might be, maybe you've already dug into the leftovers today. Although New Mexico did not have turkey last night, Danny Gonzalez told us. He's superstitious.
Right.
They had Thanksgiving lunch, and then dinner was the usual steak and lasagna. Second possession for Utah State after going 3 and out. And they're going to hand it off again to Tyler, second carry of the game, and going nowhere, right on his back. Ray Leotele after a pickup of 2.
Yeah, look for them to eventually get Devin Tompkins involved early here. He's one of those type of players where if he gets the football early, he'll get warmed up. So I'll look for that to happen eventually.
Bonner to the sideline, and it's snatched by Derek Wright, who gets across midfield into Lobo territory and a 31-yard pickup.
I'm telling you, that son, I mean, he saw it. Wright saw it. But again, Bonner taking a huge hit, but standing strong, powerful, delivering. That's what you want to see from your quarterback.
Utah State hurrying up and getting 4 yards from Tyler. You thought the sun affected the defensive back or the receiver on that?
The defensive back, because he was in great position. Also, the safety took a bad angle. But again, no excuse because the receiver did catch the football. Yep. So.
Here's 2nd down and 6. Some heat coming right up the middle. Bonner steps into it, throws for Wright again, and he brings it in for the Aggies touchdown. A 27-yard connection.
Yeah, great move out there. Great move. You see here, he's on the outside. He comes, he runs a double move, a stutter go. When you get to this part of the field, we call it the fringe. It's the plus 40 end. Ran a double move on them. This is where you take a shot. You see here, he comes here, stop early. 1-on-1, they like that matchup. Great throw, great catch, great play.
Here's the point after, up and good for Kitsunley. So a quick after 3 and out reaction for this Utah State offense. 4 plays, 66 yards in just over 60 seconds. And the Aggies are on the board. Derek Wright with his 9th touchdown of the year and a quick strike of 27 yards to cap what was a 2-catch drive for him. 4 plays and 66. Here's the touchdown.
Yeah, the biggest pre-snap indicator is where are they on the field. Right now, they are here, right in the middle of the field, plus 40, and we call it the fringe. That is where you are expected for teams, for offenses to do double moves and take shots down the field. That's exactly what Utah State did. It made it happen.
And so now the Aggies will onside kick it, or at least sky it up in the air, and that is caught by Jarek Reed, the safety. Did that ball go into the ground first and then pop up, or was that a full pop-up?
Whatever it was an intentional onside kick.
Do you think it has anything to do with the sun? That the return team is looking into the sun right there? I don't know. That was an aggressive move by Blake Anderson, who's an aggressive coach.
He probably took that into consideration. I believe that's probably exactly what it was. He knows they couldn't find the football. That's smart.
But it does give New Mexico now a little bit of life. Their best field position in this, the 3rd drive of the day. And there's Peyton Dixon, who gets the carry, a pickup of 3. So we mentioned no Aaron Dumas, who's the leading runner for this team at almost 5 yards a carry. Luke Wysong, the leading receiver, who's having a great year as a freshman, is out today. And so it falls to Dixon, who is here by way of UC Davis and First Fresno State, but was a prolific high school running back in the state of Nevada, and he's got a big opportunity this afternoon. Movement up front, and we've got our first flag of the day, and so we'll meet our referee, Cal McNeil.
Prior snap, offsides, defense, number 96, causing reaction from the offense. 5-yard penalty, remain, 2nd down.
Pokesivaka Uta with the penalty.
Yeah, just got to hold his water, try to get a jump on there.
And so a 2nd down and 2 here. And Dixon once again, who bounces it outside and pulls away, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
This is what you want. You want to just keep taking profits. 3-yard gains, 4-yard gains, doesn't matter. But this is what he did. This is what he did in high school, right? Broke tackles, bounced it outside. It was crazy. We saw what he had over 3,000 yards in high school. I don't know how in the world you get 3,000 yards in high school.
Well, nobody in the state of Nevada had ever done it before. He's the first to ever do it. State record 3,143 yards as a senior with 45 touchdowns and more movement up front.
Man, oh man.
Well, this is what Utah State cannot do today.
Now he's out.
Dead ball, offsides, number 92, defense, 5-yard penalty, remain first down.
Ale Motuapuoka. And when you said he's out, you mean he went straight to the sideline.
Straight to the sideline.
So now it's a 1st and 5. Do you know how many yards per carry? 3,000 yards for Peyton Dixon.
I think it was 10 yards a carry.
10-2.
10-2. That's insane. Expect some option here. This is their look they like to get into.
That's Bobby Wooten behind Peyton Dixon, behind Bryson Carroll. Carroll's yet to throw today, and this is Dixon again, hitting it hard. Another first down, Mr. First Down in high school, and he moves the chains for the second time on this drive for the Lobos.
This is what they need to do. This is where the opportunity is, right between here. This is what they need to do. This is what Wyoming was able to do last week versus this defense. Keep taking a profit, keep feeding the rock to your running backs.
And they take as much clock as they can.
Right. Because the games they won the time of possession. They had over 34 minutes.
Here's Dixon again. And just churning forward. The first drive of the game for New Mexico, they lost yardage on all 3 plays. But the onside kick attempt from Utah State and a couple of penalties. And Dixon's been running it well on this drive.
And that's still a positive. For them, that's a positive situation. If you're moving forward, you don't want any negative plays like the first drive, right? So this is positive. 2 yards, 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Keep taking a profit. Keep protecting the football. Keep being disciplined. I like it right now.
Here's the pitch to Dixon, and he's got space with a block out in front from Cade Briggs, the left tackle. Bring up a 3rd down and manageable after a 5-yard pickup.
Also take advantage. You got a fresh running back there. Like, give him the football.
Say it again, only 6 carries coming into play today for Dixon this year.
You see these wide splits at the bottom, really trying to stretch out this defense.
Austin Erickson and Jace Taylor, the receivers at the bottom. Kyle Jarvis, the tight end, in motion. And again forward, very close. That's going to be right up against that first down line. If Dixon didn't get it, if it's shy, it's going to be just shy. And it'll be 4th and a few inches.
Going for it.
Offense stays on the field. It is 4th down and very short. Jarvis again, the motion man. Play clock low. They get the play off. And Dixon gets stopped. Pulled back by Patrick Joyner Jr., and it looks like he's short.
Man, right here, that's just a great discipline play.
On the field,
great play.
First down. The ball goes over Utah State. Timeout on the field.
And that's a tough one to take for the Lobos, who had a few things go their way on that drive. But they turn it over on down. Aggies take over.
I can't hear him.
So this was the big 4th down stop. Will, what'd you see?
Yeah, right now I'm looking at Patrick Jordan. He does a great job of just being disciplined, keeping his eyes up into the backfield, looking the running back. This is a great stop because if he does not make that tackle, it is either a 1st down or a touchdown.
And so a good drive with all 7 carries and a couple of penalties. Stalls out, and Utah State takes over, and they're getting the ball into the hands of Devin Tompkins. trying to find any way to get the ball to their big playmaker. That's his first touch of the day. It's time for our Built for Success, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage for the playbook on home loans. Rocket can. Devin Tompkins, one of the best receivers in the nation, and he has been fantastic this year. You take a look at the numbers. 100-yard games, tied for first with 8. A Biletnikoff Award semifinalist. A short gain on that second down play, and so now it's going to be 3rd down and 7. Utah State hurrying up.
Yeah, he's a little dude. He's about 155, barely, but he's such a huge playmaker.
3rd and long for Bonner. Gets it out into the flat to Tompkins. Can he get his way to the first down? The answer to that is no. Another strong defensive effort by New Mexico. That was Dion Hunter, and you can see Utah State trying to get their star involved. 160 all-purpose yards a game, but last week he was held in check by Wyoming, and his first 2 touches on that drive were not able to help the Aggies pick up a first down, and so Kotzenle is going to come back on to punt.
Yeah, that last play took a little too long to develop. I was looking at the receivers, and they were blocking for a very, very long time, which is extremely hard to do.
Kotzenle gets this one away, and Erickson, staring into that sun, is able to corral that ball, but he's tackled immediately, going backwards after a 50-yard boot from Kotzenle. And Jaden Smith there on the stop. Tomorrow there's games, and then there's the game. It's the latest chapter in college football's ultimate rivalry. Number 2 Ohio State, number 5 Michigan in the Big Noon Saturday game of the week. Coverage begins at 10 Eastern with the Big Noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor, and then it's the game tomorrow on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Now that's a game.
That is a game.
8 straight won by Ohio State in that rivalry. Harbaugh has not won a game as the head coach at Michigan.
He needs to get one. Get one.
And maybe sort of a CFP elimination game. So back to the ground after Peyton Dixon got the last drive. The pile moving for Bobby Wooden, and a 6-yard pickup for these Lobos. I mean, look, we talked to Danny Gonzalez, and he is a fiery guy.
Right.
The standards are very clear, and he said there's been a lot that hasn't gone right for us, but one thing he's seen from his team, they have not stopped fighting, and we're seeing that here in this final weekend of the regular season, the final game of the year for a New Mexico team that, of course, not bowl eligible with those 3 wins, but a win today would be win number 4, and that would be a 5-year high for this program.
Again, to get into this option look.
This is Dixon. Big hole for him as he spins forward for a first down.
He's getting hot now. he's definitely getting hot. He's getting more comfortable with each carry. You see here again, taking advantage of going in between the tackles. Great play right there. Wish he can keep his balance and see him hit a home run.
He's going to take a moment. Catch his breath. Already 9 carries for him today. And a first down opportunity. And Bobby Wooden gets a couple, maybe 3. We've seen 1 pass attempt from this Lobo offense so far today.
Yeah, right now there's no need. You know, the offensive line is actually getting a great push up front where they're able to just keep running the football, keep rotating both backs in, Wooden and Dixon, and keeping them fresh and just keep moving the ball, take a profit. That's going to be the theme. You're going to hear me say it a lot.
Well, one thing Blake Anderson said, he was frustrated, although not shocked last week. He felt like his team physically, against the physicality of Wyoming, got overwhelmed in the second half. Not in terms of the shape that they're in. He says we're in great shape, but the physicality of the body size with Wyoming last week took an effect in the second half. Whistles as this play gets off before it gets off.
Timeout, New Mexico State. Their first timeout, New Mexico, apologize. Apologize, my bad. First timeout of the half, 30-second timeout.
So the New Mexico Lobos will take their first timeout of the day before this is a second down play.
Well, you talked about the backs of last week that they went against, Valde and Swen. Those guys aren't little dudes. They ran all over those guys, super aggressive. So that's probably big on the physicality part to that played in.
So Bryson Carroll, you think about this opportunity for him, and no program has ever gone through this before. 3 straight years to have 4 different quarterbacks start.
That's wild. I think I have 4 quarterbacks my whole NFL career.
And it started pretty stably this year. Terry Wilson, the transfer for Kentucky, started the first 6 games.
He looked great, yeah.
And then he dislocated his elbow.
Right.
And it came to Isaiah Chavez a couple of weeks ago, and he'd been in that position before, but he was injured last week against Boise with an ankle sprain.
Please put the play clock.
And the other thing about that's
you.
amazing about this team is they have 2 former quarterbacks with eligibility on their coaching staff, student assistants. Brant Hughes and Tavaka Tuioti, both who played last year. That pitch nearly went sideways. And by sideways, I mean bad. Eventually, it was corralled by Austin Erickson, a loss of 3 yards. But neither one of those 2 players is available to sort of come out of retirement like Bryson Carroll because they're injury retirements.
Again, they do a great job of playing the pitch, playing the quarterback, and playing the run.
Good heads-up play by Austin Erickson, the Albuquerque native, a receiver. And so now here's 3rd and long.
Yep, it's a pass.
Janal back into the game, pressure, and he's going to tuck it and run, and he will come up about 3 yards shy. Nick Henninger was in pursuit, and that is the end of the first quarter. An 8-yard run, not enough for Connor Janal. The Lobos have had some opportunities, but 1 score in the first quarter. An explosive connection.
At the end of the first quarter.
And Utah State leads 7-0.